What's up, everybody? John Eric Pola here with My MMA News, and I'm very excited to talk to today's guest. I'm talking with Aaron Pico, who's actually has a fight coming up, believe it or not, on November 12th against John De Jesus. So let's welcome Aaron in here. Aaron, how you doing, my man? How are things going out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico?
I'm doing good, John. Everything's going well. Everything's going according to plan, and just staying healthy, staying safe, and ready to fight November 12th. So I'm excited, but all is well.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, let's start getting into it here. Let's start with the opponent here on November 12th. Kind of how this whole entire fight come about?
It was very, very simple. I got a message from my manager saying you're fighting John De Jesus, November 12th. So I said, okay, no problem. The coaches and I started to get to work right when we knew who we were fighting, and yeah, that's how it came about. That's usually how it comes about. Yeah, I'm very excited for this opponent. He's had a lot of fights, amateur and professionally. So I'm excited to go against this guy. He's a tough opponent. So we're looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you just about him as an opponent a little bit there. What have you seen out of him that really has stood out to you?
I think he's a good striker. I think he throws a lot of funky stuff and a lot of flying stuff, kicks. But it's good for me. It's good for me to see that stuff in the cage and get used to it. So I'm ready for anything that he throws at us. We've studied him a lot, and we still are studying. So anything that he throws, we're going to be prepared for. But make no mistake, he's a guy you don't take lightly for sure.
I got you, man. And now I want to ask you a little bit about. Well, we'll back up a few months here, back to when Bellator first returned. Back, I believe it was in July. I was on that coverage that night that you fought. You beat Solo Hatley Jr. And I remember after the fight, you said that you wanted this quick turnaround like you're sort of having right now. So I guess we'll start first and foremost. Given that you just fought recently in July, how's your body feeling after going through a fight camp and a fight, and now back into another one?
My body feels really good. Luckily for me, the fight was only 2 minutes, so I didn't take any damage. So that's why I said I wanted the quick turnaround. So I I'm very fortunate that Bellator is having fights, and I can have 3 fights in basically the year in this pandemic. So very fortunate. Bellator's doing a really good job with everything going on in Connecticut and how it's ran. I'm very, very happy with them. And yeah, with this fight, everything goes according to plan, no damage. I'd be ready to fight. Again, I just want to get cage time. That's the most important thing for me, is getting time in the cage. So we'll just take it. I don't want to look too far ahead. The most important thing is working and staying focused towards November 12th. And after that, we'll see what's next. But yeah, I'm happy it's a quick turnaround. I need that.
Yeah, a lot of compliments coming out of all the fighters with Bellator and the way they've been handling everything so far during this pandemic. I haven't really heard any complaints so far out of anybody. And Aaron, I want to go back to that fight too, just for a bit. Like you said before, lasted 2 minutes. I mean, you really put on a great performance that night. So I know, obviously, short performance there with the 2 minute fight, but can you just tell us a little bit about what you took away from that 2 minute outing that you had?
Yeah, it was. Solo Hatley was just a fiery guy. He's just very strong. He's a very strong opponent, but I think he underestimated me a little bit. I listened to a couple of his interviews and things like that. He just said I have no chin. His wrestling is good, but I think a lot of people forget in the wrestling community that I was a world champion in wrestling. I was an Olympic alternate in 2016. Wrestling is my strongest point above striking. I'm a very, very good grappler. That's something that I've been putting on a lot of focus on. And with these guys, I know if I touch their leg, I can take them down. So going into the fight, I honestly just was like, I just wanted to soften him up, take him down. And he basically just gave me his neck. And to be honest with you, it was a quick, easy night. There's not much for me to say. It was an easy payday. So I'm very, very fortunate that I walked out the cage with no bumps or bruises, and we're on to the next one.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit there about your wrestling pedigree that you have there, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more coming up here. But the thing is, like, with that background of yours, when Bellator first signed you, it was a big, huge storyline, a big deal. You were one of the hottest prospects to be signed by Bellator there. And then so far through your career here, you've had some ups and some downs so far. So I just want to, ask you a little bit about that. What have you taken away from your Bellator career up to this point?
Yeah, there's the obvious is that there has been ups and downs for the most part, but for me, I was thrown on the biggest stage right away, Madison Square Garden, and against a tough opponent, and all the guys that I have fought and have been guys with winning records. I don't fight guys that are 0-1. I didn't fight guys that are 1-3. So I had to basically, I was thrown into the fire. I had to learn on the job. Of course, I had the pedigree of wrestling and striking and things like that, but it's a whole different ball game going into MMA. That's what people don't realize, and something that I didn't realize. It was a rude awakening, and I'm okay with everything that is going on because it really has made me a better martial artist through those ups and downs. I've found the coaches that I have now that I love dearly, and I'm very, very happy with our progress. But if I had to really just give it one word, it just made me calloused. It's made me more calloused. It's made me more focused. And I think I'm going to be, we will get to the top. I will be world champion. But my path is just a little bit different than most. Of course, I would love to have a smooth sailing one and be undefeated and have all that, but that was just not in the cards for me. There was other plans, but I'm not going to let it get to me and say, and doubt myself and things like that, because I've really, really come a long way. I look at the competition that I have fought. Nobody in Bellator starting off their career has done the things that I've done. So at the end of the day, that's the past. This is the future. I got to be focused on the present. I'm on a 2-fight winning streak right now, and I want to keep the ball rolling, but those losses are in the past. So I'm really looking forward, and I'm at a good place mentally. So.
Yeah, and I want to ask you too, with your career, that you did a beautiful job there of kind of laying everything out and kind of going fight by fight like that. One of the things that I have to ask you, whether, no matter what it is in life that we're doing for the first time, whether being a little kid riding a bike, getting older learning to drive a car, me in this profession doing interviews, I got to ask you, you as a fighter, has things slowed down for you? Because when you first went into the Bellator cage, like you said, you don't want to say you were thrown to the wolves, so to speak, but you were going against high-level competition your first couple times out there, where you're first just learning how to fight. Do you think that things are finally starting to slow down for you, and that you're starting to really start to evolve as a fighter now?
Yeah, I really am starting to evolve as a fighter, for sure. The things that I know now, I wish I could tell myself back then when I first started. I've really, really come a long way, and I honestly, I put in the work. I put in a lot of work, and that's something that I'm very dedicated to. I'm very dedicated to fighting, but I also have to give a lot of credit to my coaches, Greg, Coach Gibson, Chusa, Coach Wink. The coaches there have done a really, really good job with me. And I know I always say, and I think I sound like a broken record, but I have to really, really give credit when credit's due. The coaches have really spent time with me. And that's something that I didn't have before. Not to say the other coaches were great, but when I came to Albuquerque, Greg Jackson really opened my eyes and really has helped me become a mixed martial artist. And I just now looking back on those losses, I didn't know. I really didn't know. I was like a little puppy. I didn't know what the dangers were, what they going up against a veteran, what things that you got to watch out for, ground game. But the most important thing that I have is I'm dedicated. Through those losses, you really find out if you really, really, really love something. If you have to ask yourself, when things don't go your way, you got to ask yourself, do I love this? Would I do it again? And my answer every time was yes, I would. And I can honestly say I love MMA. I love my coaches inside and outside the gym. That's something that I'm very happy about. I spend a lot of time with the coaches outside the gym. So everything just seems to be flowing for me, and not to say that there may be some ups, there may be some downs again, but I'm well prepared for it, and even the ups, I'm more prepared for how I take it, how I get back in the gym, how I approach the game, and everything is just firing on all cylinders. So I'm at a good place. So
Yeah, I mean Jackson Wink really one of the best gyms in the whole entire world. They do fantastic work, and Aaron, aside from the coaches, too, with that gym comes great training partners because again, being that it's one of the best gyms in the world, you're seeing world class competition right there in practice every day. So I know obviously you just talked about how much your coaches have helped you, but even how much of your training partners helped you to evolve up to this point.
yeah, my training partners have have helped me out a lot for sure. You have to have guys to drill with and stuff. So I'm there's a lot of bodies, a lot of guys from all over the world that drop in and hang out or not hang out that train there. So I'm very very fortunate. So there's so many guys, like I said, coming in and out. So you see different fields, different bodies, and it's a good place. It's a great place, actually.
And one of the things that you brought up before, there was some of your old training back in the day. I know you used to do some work with TJ Dillashaw and company out there in California. And I was just wondering, do you still have a relationship with those guys? Do you still talk to them and everything?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, I don't talk to them every single day, but when I'm in California and we're doing strength and conditioning, I'm in there. We talk every now and again on Instagram. But yeah, for sure, I have nothing but love for those guys and even old training partners back home. I would be welcomed in the gym, even the body shop, training lab. I'm welcomed pretty much anywhere. I don't really have any beef with anybody. Just I had to leave. I left California and made my way here to Albuquerque to train, and I found a great home. So yeah, of course, I still keep in touch with them.
And perfect segue here, because you just brought up your Albuquerque home. The next thing I wanted to ask you, we know that you're an animal lover. We see the dog behind you there coming in and out of the shots there. Everyone that follows you on Instagram, we see the horses. So I want to know how's the ranch going and how are the horses?
Oh, the horses are good, man. They're so spoiled. My girlfriend and I, we have our hands full with 4 dogs and 2 horses. So they're very very spoiled. I love horses and dogs, and I'm very fortunate that my girlfriend helps me out a lot because there'd be no way I'd be able to train and take care of the dogs and the horses. But they're good, man. It's horses are a big part of my life. They're a big reason why I fight. I really want to. I always say it. I want to have a breeding program and breed horses one day, Spanish horses, and fighting gives me that opportunity. So I feel like they work hand in hand. With horses gives me motivation, and then fighting gives me more motivation, so I can have more horses. And it's really cool that I have a passion like that. Just not just fighting, because fighting is just going to be a short period of my life, and I'm happy. I want to ride horses till I can, till I die.
Yeah, man, I love watching all your videos and everything else with the horses out there. I think that's great that you're an animal lover and really into them. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you with horses, I saw a video right before I believe it was the Kentucky Derby. One of my friends on Twitter, I wish I could find the video. I would share it, but one of the horses kind of got like spooked out with having everybody around. I think the trainer may have gotten knocked off, and there were people saying that this was inhumane to have these animals racing like that. I was just, as someone that's not only an animal lover but specifically a horse lover, what's your thoughts on the horse racing? And if you like it, I don't know if you do, I'll answer that. But if you like, would you ever want to get involved with the horse racing and breeding race horses?
To be honest with you, I'm not really a big horse racing guy, just because the lack of knowledge. I just don't know anything. I don't really know anything about it, other than there's a racetrack in California that I would go to and hang out and watch horse racing. But I won't say never. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know too much about it. For me, I really love the Spanish breed of horses, and that's something that I really really like and enjoy. So I can never say never, because life is crazy. It's one way. Things work out in weird ways, but I think with horses, as long as you treat them right and you treat them very very good, work with them. At the end of the day, you don't really teach the horse. The horse is teaching you. Everything that I know about horses is just because it's the horses. They're gonna let you know if they like it or not, and it's just a slow process. It's not something that can be rushed, especially with horse training. So I've been fortunate that I've been around some really good horsemen that have taught me the right ways and working with the horses, and it's something that you never really master. Honestly, you just got to work with the horses, treat them well, and they're an animal they will go to war. They'll go to war with you. Like they're a beautiful animal that I'm so passionate about.
Yeah, they really are beautiful animals, and like I said already, I absolutely love seeing those photos that you post on your Instagram, and I suggest that everybody goes and keeps checking those out. And I'll let you plug your social media a little bit later on here. But Aaron, quick before we roll out, I just have a couple wrestling questions for you. One of the things that I wanted to know was, I guess we'll back up to your success that you had at a very young age. What was ultimately that decision that you had to make back then as to why you chose to go this route as a professional fighter as opposed to maybe trying for the Olympic Games or for a world championship or even the chance to maybe even wrestle Division I in college in front of big time crowds and arenas?
Yeah, I think the answer is very, very simple. Is I love fighting. I really do. It's something that I enjoy. I can truly say I love it. I like wrestling, and it's a huge part of my life. I always consider myself a wrestler, but MMA is always what I've wanted to do since I've been a kid. I feel like wrestling is was just another sailboat to like get me to MMA, and I knew that I honestly knew that I had a lot to learn in mixed martial arts. That's why I wanted to get started early. I wanted to take my ups and I wanted to take my lumps early on and get it out of the way and figure this game out, because the MMA is evolving so much that you have people in Dagestan, you have people all over the world that are starting from a young age that are training every single day. Now, in 5-10 years from now, you can't be a high-level wrestler and just decide to step into the cage. I mean, there's going to be the sport is evolving, and I knew I needed to learn. I needed to learn and needed to dedicate my life to being a fighter. It's not something that you just can go in and out of. So yeah, that's the reason why, honestly, and I'm really happy. I'm happy. I live a good life. I live a great life. A lot of people are like, oh well, you could have gone to the Olympics and things like that. But I love the life that I'm living. If I was going to the Olympics and wrestling, I wouldn't have my horses. I wouldn't have my dogs. It would be wrestling is a passion of mine that I love too. But fighting is giving me a lot of good things out of my life. I own a home. I can enjoy my life. I can be with my horses. I can be with my dogs, and this is something that I truly enjoy doing is fighting. Of course, I don't have the perfect record. People probably look at me and say, "Oh, wow, you're so dumb because you could have been an Olympic champion." Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I want to be a world champion in MMA. That's what drives me. So I can go on and on and on, but bottom line is I love fighting. I enjoy my life right now, and I'm working towards being the greatest fighter on this planet. So that's that.
Well, listen, I'm pro Aaron Pico here. I believe that you definitely are one of the future stars of the sport, and don't let that record ever bother you, whatever people say about it, because the people that understand the game know what you've been doing inside of the Bellator cage there, because your opponents have been, a lot more experienced than you, and we're starting to see, your game really start to come along, and we're looking forward to seeing you fight more and more in the future there.
I say one thing, those losses.
Adam Borix, Henry Corrales, Zach Freeman, don't think they're off the hook. When I get my win, I'm ready to fight them whenever. The things that I know now, I would love to fight Henry Corrales again. I would love to fight Adam Borix again. I would love to fight Zach Freeman again. Like, don't think that I'm like by no means am I going to be like, oh, I'm just trying to avoid them. No, I want it to be clear. Keep training, keep working hard, because I'm coming for you guys, and I have the utmost respect for them. The reason is because they have helped me become a better martial artist. After those losses, I've had to really evaluate, man, do I really love this sport? I've sat at the kitchen table, I've studied it. We fight again, it's going to be a different story. I guarantee it. I'm excited to share that, because I did not have the knowledge that I know now. I didn't have the coaching that I had now. So I want to let them know I'm coming. I am coming. And I can't wait till I get that opportunity again. I can't wait. I can't wait. I want, the only thing is I want the opportunity when when that arena is crowded. I want to go fight Henry Corrales in LA when the arena is crowded. Adam Borix, I want to go back to where there's an arena with people and stuff like that. So, I don't know how long that's going to be, but if I even have to fight them with no crowd, I will. But I want it to be a big spectacle. I want to go back and I want to sell out arenas and get my revenge because it will happen.
I absolutely love the whole entire sound of all of that. So, is it safe to say that if you get the win on November 12th, we're going to be witnessing the Aaron Pico Revenge Tour?
I wanna start making my revenge for sure. I think I'm not a good loser. I don't like losing. I grabbed my nuts and I fought those guys on when I knew nothing. I fought Henry Corrales when I only had 6 fights. I fought Adam Borks when I only had like 7 fights. These guys had way more experience than I did, and what I've learned now and what I've a time that I've put in. Hell yeah, I want to go back and fight them. I don't want to just have the L on my record. I don't. I want to go back and fight them because I am a different person as a fighter, mentally, physically, and I know I can beat them. I know we can beat them. Like my team, we're going to be throwing a lot of bombs at them for sure.
Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing you fight again on November 12th. And I'm looking forward to seeing this revenge tour when it comes up here. Aaron, before you run out, though, I just want to give you the time to plug your social media accounts. And we talked about your Instagram a bit there. So go ahead, plug your social media, management, sponsors, anything that you didn't get to touch on that you'd like to throw out there now. Please feel free to do so.
Yeah, no worries. My Instagram is Aaron Pico USA. Same with Twitter, Aaron Pico USA. And I just want to thank everybody for all the support. I have a lot of good people that stick by my side, and we're working to get to the top, and we're going to do it together. So, thank you guys for all the good words, and the journey continues.
Aaron, thanks for the time, and once again, appreciate it. And we're looking forward to seeing the fight on November 12th. We're looking forward to seeing the revenge tour when that happens. And just as a reminder to everybody out there that's watching this, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see more interviews like this. Also, keep going to My MMA News. We have great daily content every single day of the week. Check that out as well. As always, we appreciate it. We'll see you later, everybody.